lessons. So let's continue it. I would say that it's all going to melt in the next couple of days, and then by Wednesday we should get another 6 inches of snow. That'll be beautiful, and then just keep going through it like that. All right. So welcome, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. How many people are new here who've never been in this club before? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. How about you? Have you been in this club before?
I think I did. Yeah, I did.
All right. Okay.
See what?
Okay, so excellent. Yeah. So thank you all again for showing up. Hopefully this will be a fun meeting for everyone and you'll get something out of it. The purpose of today's meeting is it's an open house. So we're kind of going over everything that we do in Toastmasters and kind of explaining everything, and hopefully the guests especially will find some interest here and maybe join us and pick up some clues on what they want to do the rest of their lives. So I'm going to kind of do a general breakdown on what the meeting is about, and then I'm going to start introducing some people to come up here so you don't have to listen to me all day. What we're going to do is we're going to start out with some interesting things like the word of the day. We're going to go into the prepared speeches where people have worked very hard to put a speech together for you to listen to. Next is table topics, which is very important. It teaches you impromptu speaking. And then lastly is evaluation, which is probably some of the most important reasons to be in Toastmasters, is the evaluation portion, where you get to listen to people tell you how you did as far as speaking, giving you little gifts on how you can improve, etc. And then we have a couple of general remarks, and we end the meeting. So let's get started right away because we've got a kind of a full plate. And when we get to the table topics, I would like to see as many people up here as possible. So let's get started. And I'd like to introduce our word of the day, Chen.
Today the word of the day is agile. Agile means think and move quickly. Today we have an assistant today to explain what agile really means. So I'm going to show you my assistant today. This is my assistant today. Let me actually. So this is my assistant today, Cherry. Her name is Cherry. So she's going to explain to you what agile really means. Okay, that means move or think quickly, okay? So this is Agile is also an approach in project management, which means that for a project, usually we have a long span. And for example, if we have a project starting in March, possibly half a year, like in September, we're going to deliver a project. But the Agile approach is against the traditional approach. You will adjust quickly depending on what's going on in the project. For example, if we are going to deliver in September, we're going to divide our project into span of every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks, we will adjust according to what's going on in the project. This is the new approach in project management. So today, the word of the day is agile. Okay, the think and move quickly. Thank you.
So as you can see, Chen was a little too agile. She ran away before I could shake her hand. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the word of the day is very important, and what we encourage everyone to do is when you're getting up here, try to use the word agile in your speech. Sometimes it's a little difficult in your prepared speech, but definitely try to use it in the table topics. And now, I have a great honor to introduce our first speaker, someone fairly new to our club, who's shown a great deal of confidence, and I believe this is her second speech in front of everyone here. So I'd like to give a warm welcome to Amy. Thank you so much. And Amy's speech is, communication is the key.
All right, this is my second speech. However, for the Toastmaster, this is really the #1 speech. All right, for me, I'm a little bit nervous, honestly. All right, the title, we said this is communication is the key. Gerald Ford once said, nothing in life is more important than communicate effectively. Do you ever have this kind of experience? Like somehow when you communicate with others, the topic just went astray, surprisingly. Okay, I say people nod their heads. my friends' parents, they speak no English when they came to U.S. One day they went to the grocery store to buy soup, S-O-U-P, and at the end they bought soup, S-O-A-P. So whenever they talk about this somehow the communication just went astray during the party. We all laughed. Okay, like 2 decades ago, more than 2 decades ago, I came here to further my study. This is life-changing event. Before, when I was in China, I speak Chinese, my first language, 95%, 99%, even I can say. English, I only speak it in the English classes to improve my English. After I come here, Chinese, there's no way except in the family, right? I came here myself, so I mainly speak English. Okay, English is a major communication tool. Then I met my husband, same background. Later, we gain more Chinese speaking opportunity. That's because we have our daughter. To not forget about the Chinese, to not learn Chinese. So in the family, we speak Chinese. And professionally and at work, we speak English. And according to stats, about 12%, year 2016, stats showed 22% of kids raised from bilingual family. Basically, in the family, they speak one language. At school or at work, they speak English. So this is about 12 million kids in year 2016. And this is kind of 2% increase rate during this recent years. All right, so like Gerald Ford, I think I said in the quote, right? Nothing is more important than communicate effectively. How to improve in communication skills? Like especially for the family, like similar background as me, like bilingual, where we had a first language, not English, and we have the family involved with two languages. Here, I strongly recommend Toastmaster. Okay, here today is our open house. All right, Toastmaster is a non-profit organization. Right, according to Wiki, like we have 250K members over 106 countries. So majorly we meet like once per week. Something we have a prepared speech like this one. We also have a speech evaluation. Then the table topics. And this is called prompt speech, right? Toastmaster table topic session. I like table topic session. I remember Marty last time said, hey, we need to say something, right? I truly love this table topics. This one, to be very well to in table topic this session, not only you need to think quickly, but also you need to very effectively speak during a very quick time. So this is not only speech, but also a kind of brain test as well. All right. Another reason I want to recommend Toastmaster, that's my experience. Another example, I have been a full-time employee, full-time work-at-home employee in Cigna, right? So basically, my house is my office building, and my kitchen is my cafeteria. When I talk to my colleagues, I use phone, use Skype. But when I really talk in a meeting, that's you do not have real audience. All you feel, all you meet, that's the wall, all your computer, all your telephone. So it's different. So like last time, like at the end of last year, I got an invitation for for a paper I published. I need to do the conference speech, right? So this is challenging for me. I do not have a real audience. Luckily enough, a friend brought me to Toastmaster, and Toastmaster leaders so support. Then they provided me 3 real public speech chances. Then I got in a practice. I improved my self-confidence during a public speech, and then the conference speech went very well. It's a success, I have to say. Okay, so based on my own experience, I strongly recommend our Toastmaster, and for communication is the key. Communicate effective is important. Plato said a wise man speaks. Well, that's because they have something to say. But a fool speaks because they have to say something. So I hope all my friends, all of us, right, when we speak to each other, when we speak to family, speak to friends, they will think of you a wise person. So basically, you need to have an effective communication. That's my topic. Thank you.
All right, I'd like everyone to do me a little favor and give Amy one more round of applause. It's fantastic because, like I said in the beginning, this is Amy's second speech. It takes a lot of courage to get up in front of a bunch of people, especially in an open house, because we've got a bigger crowd, we've got guests and everything like that. So Amy, you did a great job. Thank you so much. And I like your speech so much because you stole some of my ideas in my speech. So thank you. All right, like mine. Next, I'd like to introduce another person, Sunday, up to the stand here. Sunday is more of an accomplished speaker. She's been with us a while, and you can see that she has grown quite a bit. And this is the second time giving this speech called The Power of Association. So, without further ado, here is Sunday. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd. I'd like to actually move this back a little bit. Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Have you ever been to the zoo and seen monkeys? They're actually quite fun to watch, aren't they? You know, if you wave your hands to them, they will wave back to you. And if you jump up and down, they might do the same. You know, actually, monkeys are not the only kind of animal that will mimic. We do as well, don't we? So, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, recently I have read a quote, come across a quote. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. By Tim Ferriss, one of very accomplished author, investor, and entrepreneur. So I start to think, who are the people we spend most time with? And what kind of people that have the kind of characteristics that we aspire to have? And also I thought to myself, if I could mimic without knowing, how can I help myself be around the people that I eventually want to be like? I started to think back to my own self-experience. When I was in college, back in the days in China, I think a lot of people have the same experience. I stayed in the same dorm with the top 4 classmates, the best performers in the class. I remember in the nighttime, in the college campus or the dormitory, they turn off the lights at 10 o'clock. And in my dorm, usually 3 things happen. My roommates, they would go to the corridor, study on the stair lights. They would rather stay on the campus and study late. Or they would simply get up early the next day and study more. The rare occasions that I remember when I come in early, I was walking by other rooms. You can see people watching TV, chatting on the phone. But when I walk into my dorm, it's always quiet. My roommates, they're always reading. And I thought, in that environment, I was just motivated to stay in the top of the class, no matter what, because that's the environment I was in. And very fortunately, recently, I was able to connect with some of the highly achieved, accomplished people and start to hear about their philosophy of life, their purpose, their gratitude, and the positive thinking. It felt a breeze of fresh air to me.